Well, good evening everybody and welcome back to another video here on the JB Official YouTube channel, where I'm actually back for another Planet Coaster video. Now I just do want to say a bit of apology to this video, because of course I did actually record this video a couple of days back, but unfortunately I had a little bit of technical issues with the audio, which meant sadly the microphone on my old set of headphones does no longer work, so I had to wait a couple of days to order some new ones. And of course I've actually now got the new headphones on right now. I actually spent about half an hour setting it all up, making sure the sound actually works and getting it on the right settings and that. But yeah, anyway, sorry about that, because of course it was supposed to be online a couple of days ago, this video was, but here I am now, back on Planet Coaster, having a little look at this beautiful amusement park I've actually been working on over the past couple of months, actually, because I actually started this back in May, and you can actually see there's actually been a lot of development that I've actually been doing. I've actually been adding in some trees, there's pathways, there's coasters and rides, and you might just be able to see a little lake in the background just over there, and along with a few other facilities and buildings. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to start our way around here. So we'll start on the right side, and then of course making our way all the way around the left hand side, and then finishing back up where we actually started. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to start off with one of our first rides, which you can actually just see here. This is actually a little roller coaster called, hang on if I can get it up, called Red Force. This is actually a family thrill roller coaster. It's got two trains which can seat up to 8 people, and you can actually see here the reason why I called it Red Force was because it's got a red track and it's got a red train. And you can see we've got a nice little family thrill coaster. You can see it's got a lot of turns, there's loads of banks and hills and that. That's why I actually wanted to make it a little bit more of a thrill coaster, because it does go quite fast on some of the turns. So we've got that here, and you can see it's actually situated just in the park's entrance just here. And then over here we've actually got this little lovely cable cars ride, which you can just see here, and you can see it is a little cable cars which actually take the guests on a little journey all the way around the park from one side to the other. So it will go past various different rides, it will go past this little lake that I've actually created here, and then finish up on the other side. So I'll head back the other side in a minute as I've done finishing the right hand side. And over here we've actually got a variety of different rides. So over here we actually have this little mini Ferris wheel, which is pirate themed. We've actually got 3 jellyfish and 3 barrels, which you can just see here. It's just a little Ferris wheel for the kiddies, so they can actually have an experience of what a real Ferris wheel would look like, just getting it built up. So start with the small Ferris wheels, and then of course go on the standard giant Ferris wheel. So that's one here. And over here we've actually got a couple of plane rides. So we have got these vintage aeroplanes, which you can see here. They do look very old, and you've got like a I don't know, they're like little handles that you might turn to get the planes to flip over. So that I've actually seen that in action, and you can actually tell it's very vintage. And you've got like a little motor which you can just see in the inside of the ride just here. And then moving on to our next plane theme ride, you can actually see this one actually has the little propellers. This actually swings round, and then of course make the planes go upside down, which you can just see here. Like I said, I will be doing some like a little montage of some of the rides and actions over the next few weeks, which I'll be doing. And then over here we've actually got a food area, so there's a variety of different food shops which you can just see, from your pizzas to your hot dogs and burgers. There's even ice creams as well. That's a bit too bright. If I can just yeah, there we go. So you've got different shops which you can actually have a look at. And then if any of the guests don't like waiting, they can also treat the food to themselves with these absolutely awesome vending machines. I think they're actually brilliant because, of course, there'll be a lot of people out there who get a little bit impatient and really hungry, and then, of course, the customers can actually then use these vending machines if they are really in a hurry. Got a little staff building here for our staff to have a little rest. We've also got the gift shops. There's only 3 gift shops in this game. You've got the Just a Memento, which of course is like where you get a bag, and then of course you get some little ornaments in there. You got Hats Fantastic, which of course is where they sell a variety of different hats. And then of course Looney Balloons, which is where they actually sell balloons to keep your guests happy. So, and then of course we've also got a few of these first aid buildings here as well, just in case if any of the customers do decide to throw up after going on the rides. And over here I've actually got a very old vintage cage. It's like a spinning cage, I think it is. So yeah, I guess that the customers actually stand inside here. It's like they're in a cage, and then of course the ride actually spins round and tilts up to the top. And over here I've actually got this beautiful lake which I was talking about earlier, and while I was actually showing you the cable cars. And you can see I've got a variety of different scenes. We've got some steamboats here, we've got some waterfalls, water features, and then of course we then have some seating as well, where guests can actually sit down and have a little bit of a breather before going on some more rides and coasters. And then right at the back we've actually got this beautiful vintage hotel which I used. Of course this has actually already been built as a blueprint, and then of course I decided to place it at the back of the park, just to keep it a little bit hidden away from all the main action taking place. And over here I've actually got a little, some sort of circus or trapeze. Yeah, it's definitely a trapeze. It's like a little circus going on here, very vintage. You can see they're swinging on the trapeziums, which we've got here. It's like a little visiting point where guests can actually have a little look. And then over here we've got a little spinning flat ride. We've got the little, it's like a little kite ride, and then of course you've got the shape of an eagle, so it's like a little kite ride, and then of course there's like a little handle which you use to spin the cars around. So yeah, it's just a little vintage ride. And then over here we've actually got the second station. So of course we've got station A, which is actually the first one at the park's entrance, and then of course you've then got station B, which is the second entrance, which is actually right at the very back of the park. So we're going to move on to the Ferris wheel now. So like I said, I showed you the little mini wheel for the little kiddies, and now we've actually got the standard Ferris wheel, which of course is much more higher than that little one that I just showed you. And then of course these are actually actual gondolas as well, where the other ones were like jellyfish and barrels. So yeah, good cycle on this one. The other one's a little bit quicker, but this one is very much longer in length, and you can actually see a very good view of the park as well. And over here we've actually got our little vintage cars, which you can just see here. Very classic ride. It takes you on a little journey through these little gardens with plants and trees. Lots of flowers. There's even a little shed with a little vintage car. and a little, well, it's like a little little wagon where you have like tools and that in there. Got some flags, and then of course it makes its way through the trees. Round here we've actually got this very old twister, which looks very, very classic. You can see it's quite vintage because of the safety bars. Of course they're all locked up, and of course this actually goes quite slower than the other twister, which is also available in the game. So this one's actually classic because it's actually got four cars, and I think the other one's got 3. Over here we've actually got another like another food area, but this time it's actually drinks, where guests can actually come here and then buy their drinks. There's like milkshakes and juice drinks and energy drinks, and of course your water and coffee. And then of course, like I said, I've also placed these vending machines in here as well, so that guests, if they're in a hurry, if they're really thirsty, they can actually then have a drink out of the vending machine. So we'll continue our way around here. Got a little cafe here for our guests if they're hungry. Like I said, similar to the shops, but the guests can actually go in there and sit down and order a variety of different courses, extras and desserts. And over here this is probably one of my favourite roller coasters I've actually built for this park, and it's actually the runaway oak tree train, because of course the coaster is actually surrounded by oak trees, which you can just see here. There's literally, the trees actually cover and hide the actual track away. So if I was to actually just go back a little bit, if I was just about to go around here, you can only just see the top of the lift hill and the start of the first drop, which is very, very interesting, because of course it's like the track's actually hidden away, you know, it's hidden, so people really don't know what to expect for the ride. You know, it's just like a little surprise of where it's going to go next. So like I said, we've got the bank turns that go around the trees, you know, just to make it a bit more natural and more exciting as well. And of course it has a lot of shade in there as well. And then of course we've also got a few little bits of lighting when the ride is in operation at night. So there's a little hidden coaster, which you can tell. And of course we've also got the most important facilities, which are your toilets. There's a few of these toilets around here. Nice little white building, and of course with the signage and the actual toilets themselves. We're going to go and have a little look at this ride. We've actually got the crazy carts, which you can just see here. Of course that's your standard go-karts. You've got 12 different cars in total. There are a variety of different colours. There are 3 reds, 3 yellows, 3 greens and 3 blues, which you can see here. It's around about 2 to 3 laps. I'm just going to check. Yeah, around about 2 to 3 laps long this one is, with a variety of different theming. You've got a little bit of western theming, a little bit of vintage, a bit of fairy tale, a bit of sci-fi and a bit of pirate theme, you know, just to mix the themes up a little bit, and of course surrounding them in the trees as well. Over here we've got the classic pirate ship. Of course most amusement parks and theme parks will have this ride. Of course I've actually made it pirate themed. We've got some palm trees, we've got a little band that actually plays, and then right at the back we've also got a little pond with a sunken galleon, which you can just see here. Yeah, just to add a little bit of theme in. around behind the ride. And then over here we've actually got these two drop towers. They're actually twin towers because of course they're actually the same ride and the same height. We've actually got a red one over here and a blue one over here, so there's literally two rides in one, so that it'll give the guests an extra ride for them to enjoy. And then through here we've got a really old vintage Ferris wheel. This is actually a really fast one as well, which is actually called Round the World. And it's literally a Ferris wheel that just spins round, and even the carriages spin round as well. They actually go upside down while the ride is in motion, so that's very interesting. And then we're going to go around the park one more time and show you some of the other rides. So over here we've got a really nice little bit of landscaping. We have got like a little sit down area with benches and a little bit of tranquility. We've got a little, it's like a little pond with rockwork and trees and plants, and of course this absolutely beautiful water fountain with some little jets, and of course we've also got a little jester on the top of the fountain with the taps, and of course with the splash effects as well. It's always nice to have a little bit of landscaping in your park, you know, just to really theme it up a little bit. Over here we've got a classic wave swinger or charoplane. It's definitely called charoplane, but I've actually called this a high swinger. Again, I've added a little pond around here. It's similar to the other pond fountain area that I've actually done. Rockwork, trees, statues, bits of lighting. You know, just to really theme it up. You know, just add that extra detail where your guests can say, wow, that ride looks absolutely awesome with that theme, and I'm definitely going to go on that. So yeah, we've got this ride over here. Over here we've got the main thrill roller coaster called Wipeout. This is actually, yeah, it looks actually quite similar to the one at Pleasurewood Hills. You can actually see you've got the Cobra roll just here, and of course with the loop. This actually does go forwards and backwards, so first of all when you go up there's like these little machines that connect the train, and then it then goes all the way up and then releases it. It goes backwards and then it goes forwards, and then of course there's a little lift hill here that goes up, and then of course the train then goes in reverse. We then move on to another little family roller coaster. Well, this is actually a little roller coaster called the Little Dragon, which is actually built in this absolutely awesome, impressive castle, which I've actually been doing. And you can see you've got a little dragon train, and it goes around this little area here. It goes through like a little cave with lights and mist. It's a 2-lap circuit, this one is, so it does it 2 times. And I'm just making sure if we've actually got everything. We're done here. I think there's just one more ride around here. Oh yeah, you actually got probably the most extreme ride. I've actually seen this ride in action, and oh my goodness, it is very intense. And this is probably one of the fastest rides as well, which is actually called Power Moves. And then of course you've actually got the backboard in the background with some pictures and lighting and that. And then of course these actually spin round really mad. So it's a really good ride. And then of course we've also got a couple of first aid buildings just in case, like I said, if the guests throw up. We've got a little arcade just over here with a few little machines. You've got a gumball machine here, you've got a fortune teller, a popcorn maker, and of course a vintage claw machine as well. And I think that is mainly about everything I've covered for this amusement park. Oh yeah, and of course there's also another little arcade here as well, and of course we've got a few little other claw machines as well. So there you go. So that's literally a nice little tour of this amusement park. I could actually tell you the name of this amusement park. It's actually called Thrills of Happiness, because of course there's loads of different rides for different ages. You've got the Vekoma Boomerang coaster here for the adults, and some of the other extreme rides. You've also got the little dragon coaster here for the young ones, and also the oak tree coaster here as well. There's also little cars, there's a wheel, a little twister, there's even a little lake where people can actually come in and sit down, and of course take the cable car to one side of the park to the other. And yeah, that's literally it. Thank you very much for watching. Like I said, I do want to apologise again because of course I did have technical audio issues with when I actually did it the first time, and everything seems to be in working order, which means I can actually now record more Planet Coaster videos with my new headset. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I will be doing a little montage video of this park in action with the coasters and some of the rides. Like I said at the beginning, I've also done some roller coaster POV videos already. They're actually going to be coming online throughout the next few weeks. I think some have actually gone online already, and then of course into the future as well. But thank you so much for watching, and remember, keep on filming and keep on editing. See you all in the next video. Bye for now.